How's it going, guys? Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in to my review of the Cold Steel Spartan. You thought it would never happen. So did I. I never thought I would get one of these knives in hand, test it, review it, and all that stuff. I think I have held it before, but I never intended to buy one. Certainly never intended to review and test one. This ended up in my hands thanks to my buddy Hank Strange. Check out his channel and check out the video collaborations we did out there in Florida. Really cool guy, really cool family. And he gave me this gift as a thank you for coming out to visit, and I gladly accepted. But I was never intending to get a hold of something this large for the purposes of testing and review. And for carry, for EDC carry, forget about it. Nope, didn't do it, not gonna. I did test it, however. Gave it a good beating, cut lots of stuff with it. You'll see some of that in video. And turns out this is a really tough knife. Now, that's not a surprise to me. The Andrew Demko designed Cold Steel Spartan here with his triad locking mechanism on it. I knew this was going to be a fantastically tough knife. I just didn't know that it was basically going to be a hand hatchet. Designed after the classic sort of kopis style of knife with kind of a kukri shape to it. The Spartan, why does it take the name Spartan? I'm not even sure why it takes the name Spartan. We probably have some better explanations of that. It might have to do with the handle style here. Yeah, it's probably a lot of it. But it's definitely worthy of Spartan use, I would say. A big, bad, heavy-duty chopper. That's what we got here. The handle scale is made out of a type of Zytel, I believe. The steel on this one would be AUS 8. I'm pretty positive of that. The current one that you would be buying is CTS BD1. Those are the ones that are being produced now. And I'll leave a link down below where you can buy it. It's a good performing steel. So if that's what you're going to end up with on the version of the Spartan that you buy, great. Talking a little bit about size, might as well bring that in. Here's the ruler, and from end to end, we're looking at almost 10 and a quarter inches, I think. Yeah, it's roughly 10 and a quarter inches. And the blade length should be 4.5 inches. And what is the weight on it? Let's bring in the scale and try to find that out. It's, what, I'm going to guess like 3 ounces. What are the bets? 3 ounces for... Oh, 9.1. Oh, never mind. 9.1 ounces. Yeah, not surprised at all. Big old knife. How is deployment on it? Well, the deployment on this knife, it bears what is kind of Cold Steel's ripoff of the wave feature. It's not really a wave. It's a thumb plate, which, by the way, during my testing, it's gotten a little loose. I'm going to Loctite that and screw it back in to make sure it's nice and sturdy for the next time I chop some wood with it. But deployment, you can just kind of put your thumb into that to open it up. That works just fine. Larger hands preferred, probably. Smaller hands will have a hard time with this, or else you're just going to choke way the heck up there. You can also whip it out of your pocket and cause that to catch on the edge of your pocket, locking it open in place like that. It works great. Fast deploying, scary. That's what you want, and that's what this knife demands, or your situation demands. Great. Cool texturing, I should say, on here. It looks really nice. In hand, it grips back very nicely. And doing that hard work with it, it feels good in hand too. You know, whether it's cutting cardboard, slicing paper, which is easy, of course, or chopping wood. Now, carving into that wood was a little bit harder, especially in this position right here, because we've got all this space right here breaking me away from where I'm actually carving. And then I've got to try to get this area right in here. I can't really use this out here because the leverage just doesn't work right. So I'm trying to bring it as close in as I can, and you just can't really get it that close. You've got so much space between you and the actual material you're cutting, so that can be kind of hard. And that's part of why I ended up just kind of choking back on it and chopping away at that wood, which, like I said before, was extremely effective. Now, Cold Steel has no shortage of gigantic folding knives in their lineup, but let's just show you one that is pretty cool and pretty interesting in comparison to the Spartan. Obviously, they keep going. They keep creating cool, gigantic, freaking bad knives, and this is just one of the several. There's the Talwar taking up the entire screen. Look at that sucker. That is bad, just bad. This is the OD green and black version, as you can plainly tell. Talwar, also kind of a classic ethnic design, I guess you might say. Very interesting design, very cool looking. Again, gigantic. I would never ever carry it. And in hand, you can see how that works. You got all that handle sticking out there and a massive, massive blade up in front. This would do the chopping that thing did probably doubly well, at least as well. You can choke way the heck back on it. And again, it's like a hand axe. Hand axe? A pocket axe. That's what I'm trying to say. So the massive Talwar is a great option. Maybe just one or two other knives that are not near that same size, but kind of interesting too if you want something sort of like that, sort of like the Spartan, but not quite as big. How about this guy, the Ken Onion Foresight, made by CRKT. That's a first production. We could also, the Code 4, I suppose. We could bring that one back in. And here's an interesting one. You're going to see this in a review very soon. This is the Stedman design Zahn Knives ZKC D01. If you haven't seen that review already, you will very soon. So there's just a few knives out there that would sort of fill the same role. Not chop really so much as this, but actually be more EDCable, but still kind of large and, big. Oh, but there it is, guys. The Cold Steel Spartan. One big bad knife. Thanks again to my buddy Hank Strange for the gift. Thanks, of course, to Blade HQ for getting me this one on loan. It's going right back. Thanks to all you guys for watching, of course. I'm the Late Boy Scout. We'll see you on the next one. Let's look at a couple other varieties of the Code 4. Here's the Spear Point right there. That's gunmetal grade too, guys. See the difference? There's a pretty big difference there. And since this will look better this way, I have mine in the middle and the two other varieties that I got on loan from Blade HQ on top and bottom. And there's a Tanto version